A family of three live in the middle of a forest as an evil lurks in the woods. As long as they keep themselves tied to the house, literally, the evil must stay at bay. But one son is questioning everything and starts to wonder if it's all real. Bloody kids. It's a classic tale of Mummy Knows Best in Never Let Go.
Hello there, you loose units, and welcome back to another episode of Spicy Boy Reviews. I'm, of course, your host, Andrew Iles. That's right, Never Let Go, directed by Alexandra Aja, who's known for directing the horror High Tension, The Hills Have Eyes remake, and Crawl, just to name a few. We meet a family of three living in a cabin in the woods, which is always a good sign. We have Mummy Poos, who is all kinds of cuckoo, and her two young twin boys, Sam and Nolan. Every day they venture out to scavenge for anything that's edible for dinner, sometimes consisting of frogs, bugs, and the occasional squirrel. We get some narration exposition dumping to explain why this is all happening. We are informed by young son Nolan via narration that Mummy Poos has moved both him and his little brother to this cabin in the woods in the middle of nowhere because the world has ended. Apparently an evil possessed everyone and they started killing each other, so pretty much modern day. However, the boys have never seen this with their own eyes, they're only going off what Mummy Poos has told them. However, the evil has found them and it lurks in the forest waiting for them. When they do venture out of the house, they must have a rope attached to them at all times, which leads back to their home cabin. Because apparently the cabin is made of ancient sacred wood, and no, I'm not referring to Jack Nicholson's boner. However, if they do untie themselves, the evil can then possess them, which leads them to kill each other. So they must stay tied up at all times and never let go, which will totally never happen. However, it seems that old Mummy Poos is the only one who can actually see the evil as it manifests itself with deceased family members. However, these loved ones do have a sense of snake-like appearance about them. This all doesn't sit very well with Nolan though, because he got some questions. He starts to begin to push back on his mother, believing that this is all possibly made up. Even Mummy herself has like a mysterious hidden past that she only hints at and gives little sprinkles of information throughout the film. And this mysterious past could potentially be linked to this evil. Or it could be all made up and it's her mental health and she's putting it on her kids. Throughout this film we do get some abrupt jump scares that will make you shit yourself. And it is generally creepy and unsettling with some nightmare fuel imagery. However, there is a few dumb decisions from the boys in this film. Some scenarios happened and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, really? Don't do that, you idiot! However, it's fair to say that Halle Berry delivers a fantastic performance. It's been a while since I've seen her in something, honestly, but it was great to see her on the big screen again, and in this film she proves yet again why she has one of those Hollywood gold statues. Also, the young boys in this, played by Anthony B. Jenkins and Percy Daggs IV, are our protagonists and have a majority of the screen time, but they both deliver a really good performance. This film is purposefully ambiguous and leaves it up to the viewer of what you actually think is going on. There is a lot of discussion online of what reviewers think this means, or the ending explained, or what have you, and yes, I do have some thoughts. I'm going to try not to spoil this film because I do think you should go see it, so I'm going to try and be as vague as possible. But for the sake of argument, just to be safe, possible spoiler alert, maybe. Of course, you've got heavy religious themes throughout this film, and the snakiness of this evil could be a callback to the Bible of the Garden of Eden with the serpent. How it's trying to manipulate this family and potentially turn on each other. Hence the saying, speaks with a forked tongue. And there's definitely echoes of Cain and Abel from the Bible as well with these two young boys. Especially in the third act of the film when they really start to butt heads. As aforementioned, Halle Berry's character has a very mysterious and dark past. She came from an uber-religious family, ran away to the city where she met a bad boy and went off the rails, as far as we're aware. And she got up to some rebelling because she's covered in tattoos. And if you have a closer look at some of these tattoos of spiders and snakes and whatnot, they could potentially be linked to the occult, or linked to this evil that's lurking. Because I'm thinking the snake tattoo on her back is a heavy reference. And of course, there's a few snake-like demons in mythology. And this evil could be coming back to reap some sort of payment, coming after Halle Berry's character and her boys. Or it could be all in her head, and this is just trauma that she's passing on to her kids, and she experienced it as a kid herself. However, I don't think so. Personally, I think, in my opinion, this evil is real. There is a character that shows up in the third act of the film, and I think this person is 100% real. And I don't think it's the evil tempting them. However, there's a second character that shows up shortly after, and I 100% believe that is the evil. Because it manipulates them with its story of why it's there. Because if it was a real case and the story was true, why the hell would they be on their own and not with the previously mentioned character? They're in the woods, in the middle of nowhere. That just wouldn't happen. As aforementioned, I think this evil is real, and it's coming after Halle Berry's character for some sort of payment or redemption. It is owed something, I believe. Whether she conjured it or with certain actions, and she knew exactly where to flee to, because she grew up in a cabin in the woods that's built by sacred ancient wood. Way better haven than hanging out in the city waiting for this demon, devil, evil to come after her. Anyway, that's just my thoughts on what the movie was about and what it was doing. I could be completely wrong, who knows? It's a really good looking film too, like every shot is beautiful. And as aforementioned, Halle Berry delivers a magnificent performance. And the film felt like a bit of a mix between A Quiet Place and The Watchers. It also heavily felt like a M. Night Shyamalan style of story. This film is very different from the director's other entries, these other films that he's made, because they are very heavy on the gore and sort of exploitation. This one's more laid back, a bit of a slow burn, and more of a psychological thriller with some horror sprinkled out. I did enjoy this film. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. It was okay. I definitely had a good time with it. I do recommend it. Go see it, purely for Halle Berry's performance alone. She's great. Anyway, guys, that's my cheeky little review of Never Let Go. Right down below if you've seen it. What are your thoughts on it? But more importantly, what is your favourite Cabin in the Woods film? And of course, if you've made it this far into the episode, please give me a thumbs up because your love and support keeps me going, because I just love movies and I assume you do as well. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe icon because I give it an episode weekly. And I'll see you back here next week for the next review, but until then, stay spooky, kids.